say for this time, God. Thank you, God, that you have given us one more time, God. Let us not waste it, God. We want to give you our best while we're here, oh God. We pray, God, that this word will go forth, God, with clarity, God. That your people will receive it, God, and apply it to their lives, God. We thank you for this church, God, and this leadership, God. We ask that you continue to keep them in your care, oh God. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. 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 If you have your Bibles, go to Jeremiah, the 18th chapter. Jeremiah, the 18th chapter. Jeremiah 18th chapter. Start at verse 1. And when you find it, you find these words. It said, the word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, arise, go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause you to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and there he was, making something at the wheel. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again into another vessel, and it seemed good to the potter to make. This morning I want to use for a topic, Lord, reshape me. Lord, reshape me. I want to apologize in advance if you came for a Thanksgiving message. You won't get it this morning. Amen. But I do have a word from the Lord. Amen. I give him all honor and glory. So I have our pastor, Bishop Lewis, and his family, Mr. Pitts, and his wife and family, and all you, my father's children. Amen. I'm not going to be before you very long, but I have a word God has given me. I just want to share a little bit with you. Lord, reshape me. Amen. Thank you, musicians. Have you ever wished for a fresh start? Have you ever looked back on some things in your life and said, I wish I could do that all over again. I wish I could get another chance. I would do that differently. Many of us here today and many people you know are in need of a fresh start. As we quickly approach the new year, a lot of us will be making New Year's resolutions. A lot of us will be starting diets at the beginning of the year. Amen. We're all looking for new beginnings. After we eat all this turkey and dressing and ham and mac and cheese and pound cake, at the first of the year, we're going to be on the treadmill. Now, while we're in the gym getting summertime fine, some of us need a reshape in our spiritual life. I know you're saved, but in life, that's why I love you. But is there anybody in the building like me that mess up from time and time again and say, God, I need you to reshape me? That's good. Today our lesson takes place in Jeremiah. God used a unique manner to teach Jeremiah a valuable lesson. Jeremiah is a true prophet who has the people's best interest at heart. At this time, he is very discouraged and about to give up on God's people. He seemed to think God had done all he could do, and now there was no hope. God told him to go down to the potter for an objective lesson. Then he saw the potter at the wheel intently shaping a vessel. The potter's foot was on the control, moving the wheel around and round as the potter shaped the vessel. But just as the vessel seemed to be taking shape and becoming lovely, something unexpected happened. The vessel was tarnished. We're not sure just why, but it was so. I found this to be very strange, because if it was anybody who knew how to make this potter perfect, it was the potter. The potter is skilled at forming the clay. If what God had shown Jeremiah was clay in the hands of another person, then the story probably wouldn't have ended the same. Here are two possible responses if it had been anybody else. Number one, the person may not have had the patience to start all over again or continue working with that same pot. Starting over requires a lot of patience. God, as our pot, is able to start over with the same messed up pot because he is no ordinary potter.
Come on.
We are clay in the hands of a patient and loving God.
That's right.
Most of us have very low tolerances for faults and mistakes of others. When people are not performing up to our expectations, we start boiling and we get angry and we flare up. We're quick to say, I ain't fooling with them no more. They got me last time. If God was to flare up the way some of us do, then most of us, no matter of fact, all of us would have been dead by now.
That's right.
But Lamentations 3:22 tells us that it's because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed. For compassion has never failed. There are some weaknesses we can't tolerate in people. Many of us can't stand lazy people, liars, indecisive people, arrogant, blunt, and bossy people. One of my greatest pet peeves is indecisiveness. Let me give you an example. I asked my wife, baby, where do you want to go to eat? And she says, it don't matter. I say, okay, let's go to the Texas Roadhouse. No, I don't want that. Well, what do you want, baby? Oh, it don't matter. Before you know it, we're probably fussing, driving home mad at each other. We are very easily and quickly punish people for their flaws. We're quick to give up on people because of their weaknesses. God, on the other hand, is not quick to punish or give up on people like we are. He patiently waits for us to repent and to change.
That's right. Amen.
The second thing that might have happened was the person may have thrown away or discarded it. When items in our house get ruined or damaged or broken or rotten, what do? We throw them away. As far as we're concerned, they're no longer desirable and useful. But when you're in the hands of a loving and merciful God, as the prophet Jeremiah saw, no matter how spiritually rotten, damaged, or broken you are, God will never throw you away. Somebody should have shouted amen right there. He will not abandon you. The potter still had use for the marred pot. He still continued working on it because God is ever so merciful. He gives spiritually marred, damaged, broken, and sinful people an opportunity to start over. He gives them a new beginning. Even though the pot didn't turn out well, it wasn't looking good and it had some flaws. It didn't meet the potter's expectations. The potter still continued working on and with the clay. This is how we are in the hands of God. And let me pause for a moment to tell you that just because you find yourself in the hands of God, that does not mean that everything will be good all the time.
That's right. Come on.
For example, Joseph was in the hands of the Lord. Yet he found himself in trials and tribulations before he was made the second in command in Egypt. Job was in the hands of the Lord. Yet he lost everything he had in 24 hours. The three Hebrew boys was in the hands of the Lord. Yet they found themselves in the fiery furnace. Somebody ought to say amen to him. Then he was in the hands of the Lord. Yet he found himself in the lion's den. John the Baptist was in the hands of the Lord. Yet he was beheaded for preaching the gospel. Paul was in the hands of the Lord. Yet he was beaten and thrown into prison. Yes, just because you're in the hands of the Lord does not exempt you from persecution. But yet, when you face the trials and tribulations in your life, it is the hands of the Lord that carry us through the storms, through the trials, through tribulations, through the setbacks, through pain. Not only does God carry us through the storms of this life in His hands, but don't you know He molds us and shapes us with his hands.
Amen. Oh, yeah. Amen.
Yes, you are already fearfully and wonderfully made by God according to Psalms 139:14. Yes, you are the crown of God's creation according to Genesis 1:26. But yet God is still shaping you and molding you.
That's right.
Or better yet, he is still reshaping and remolding you from the inside.
Amen.
He's reshaping your heart, your soul, your mind, so he can transform you into the person that he wants you to be.
All right, now.
Just like a potter who shapes and molds his clay into a vessel that he wants it to look like. God is shaping and molding us into a vessel with his hands so we can be a reflection of his son, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Before God can reshape us, we have to be willing to lay it all before him.
Right.
Many of us have been wearing spiritual girdles. Y'all know about the girdle, right? Bishop talked about it a few weeks ago. The girdle is designed to keep it all tight. Make you look like you got that Coke bottle, or it might be a gallon abundant. But the girdle holds it. Y'all ain't saying that. The girdle holds it in place so it look like. Come on. And many of us are wearing spiritual girdles, so as long as we come in church and look like Brother Darrell, it look tight.
That's right.
It look right. As long as we on our job, as long as people think we saved. But this is what I found out, that every now and then that girdle gets a little uncomfortable. Every now and then after you sweat a little bit and you shout a little bit, you want to get home and get out of that girdle. As soon as you get through the door, you just ready to.
Amen.
But here's the truth. If you worked out a little more, you wouldn't need that girdle. Wow. The same thing is true about your spiritual. If you picked up your Bible a little more, you wouldn't need that girdle. If you prayed a little more, you wouldn't need that spiritual girdle. Instead of thinking like it's tight and right, it'll really be right. Somebody say amen. Amen. Look at verse 4. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again into another vessel. And it seemed good to the potter to make. The New Living Translation reads like this: but the jar he was making did not turn out as he had hoped.
Okay.
So he crushed it into a lump of clay again and started over.
All right.
Several things I noticed in this text. First thing I noticed that the potter was adamant about producing his best work. It's obvious that the potter feels the clay is a representation of himself and he will only produce the best. Oh, y'all miss me. Y'all miss me in here now. It's obvious that the potter feels the clay is a representation of himself and he will only produce the best. As he was making this clay, he was near done. However, he spots something that he's not happy with.
Right now.
Now the clay, as it were, thought that it was almost finished.
All right now.
And that's the problem, because many of you were halfway into what you thought you would have. You were in love and you probably had said yes to the dress, and you had your little house and your cute dog. You had your little fence, and as Lil Duval saying, you were living your best life. And in the middle of it all, God, who is the potter, looked at you and spotted something that he was not happy with. You got quiet right there.
Come on.
God said, there's something I don't like about him.
All right.
That's something I don't like about her. I'm moving them out of your life because there's something that I see that you can't see. Come on. Sometimes, as hard as it is to deal with situations like these, this is the only way God is able to put us into a position where he is able to reshape us. There are several ways God can reshape us.
All right, man.
One of the tools God uses to reshape us is through affliction.
All right.
Psalms 119:67 says, before I was afflicted, I went astray. But now have I kept thy word. You see, before the affliction, the psalmist was not keeping the word.
Okay.
He was not praying, nor was he worshiping God himself.
All right.
That's why he also says in 119:71 that it was good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. You see, some of us wouldn't pray if we didn't get in trouble. See, some of us will never come in the church if trials didn't arise in our life. Come on. Some of us will come to Sunday school if we had been burdened down. All right, come on. Some of us would have never found Jesus if trouble hadn't showed up.
Amen.
Come on. God will use a variety of life experiences, good and bad, with the purpose to shape and mold us into the person that he wants us to be for his glory.
All right.
Sometimes God has to allow us to be broken spiritually,
Amen.
mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially.
Amen.
So God can shape and mold us in this person that he wants us to be.
Amen.
Just like the potter had to squash the clay while on the spinning wheel so he can reform the clay into the vessel that he wanted it to become. Sometimes God has to squash us.
Amen.
Sometimes God has to squash envy and hatred and jealousy and bitterness and anger and drugs and alcohol and anything that's not like him. God says, I'm squishing it so I can remake you. But notice one thing. If God has to break you to reshape you and remold you, that is a good thing, because while he is breaking you to reshape you and remold you so he can be a reflection of Jesus Christ, that is a sign that you are still in his hands. There are times when God has to reward us to reshape us.
Okay.
Some of us are like little kids. See, if you offer a kid a candy or ice cream or cupcake, you pretty much can get them to do whatever you want them to do. Some parents should have said amen right there. That's how some church folks are. We have to have what mommies call goodies in our lives. We have to get the new cars and new houses, and that's the only time we can hear God. The thing I love about God is he's a great father. He's a great mother. He understands what motivates his children. He knows which ones he need to offer candy to. He knows which ones he need to pull his belt out for. God is strategic, and he don't mind using multiple ways to get us reshaped. Just like you use lemon, which is sour, and you use sugar, which is sweet, and you put it in water to make good lemonade. God will use some sour situations, and he'll mix it with some sweet situations. He uses it to make and mold us into the person he wants us to be. The end of the verse 4 said, it seemed good to the potter to make. It pleased the potter to reshape the vessel. I want you to know this morning, it pleases God to reshape us.
Amen.
He wants to produce the best within us.
That's right.
I'm getting ready to close, but there's one more thing I need to tell you.
All right.
I was a little curious about the making of pottery.
Okay.
So I did a little research, and I found out there's actually a few stages that the potter must take the pots through. One of the stages is the cutting process. When God is reshaping us, he has to cut some things off us.
Come on, man.
Some of us been carrying things and people attached to us, and we don't even know that it's there. We've had some things and done some things and dealt with people for so long, but God said, this time, when I reshape you, I'm cutting it off. Some of you have some friends that you need to cut them off. Some of you got some family members that you need to.
Come on.
Some of y'all sit beside some people that you need to. I got quiet, I expected that. Let's get real deep. Some of y'all laying beside some people at night that you need to. once the potter gets the vessel properly made, it has to go through the firing process.
All right.
Some may call it the oven. The oven is necessary. Every great potter understands the importance of the oven. It doesn't matter how good it looks on the outside. If it doesn't go through the burning, it's not complete.
All right.
God started reshaping you and molding you and remaking you. And he started moving things and moving people and moving habits and moving desires out your life.
Jesus.
And now you say, why does it seem like I'm still going through hell and hot water? But I came by this morning to tell you that's when you ought to shout. Because that means that you're in the oven.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
Don't miss me now.
Come on.
Let me give you 4 things about the fire, then I promise I'm going to sit down. The first thing about the fire is that the fire removes impurities.
All right.
There's some stuff about me, and there's some stuff about you that people don't see.
All right.
There are some impure things that we are dealing with.
All right.
But God sees it because he is the potter.
All right. Come
And he
on.
loves you too much to leave you where you are.
Come on.
It's some stuff that's nasty on us. Some stuff that we can't worship off. It's some stuff that we can't tap it off. And it's some stuff that we can't shout it off. God's got to take you through the fire. He got to burn some of that stuff off. Some of you wouldn't leave JoJo alone if he didn't never burn it off. Second thing, y'all, is the fire hardens the vessel. So once God starts reshaping your life, that's when the devil comes in. But now you can say, devil, you gotta come a little harder this time. Devil, you took your best shot. The things that used to make me mad, it won't make me mad no more. Friends used to walk away, and I used to get upset. I won't do that no more. Mark yourself said I'm stronger and I'm wise and I'm a little bit tougher. The third thing, y'all, is it beautifies the vessel. There's some stuff that went down in your life that was ugly. People said some stuff to you that made you have low self-esteem. Daddy did some stuff that made you feel unloved and unwanted, and you felt ugly, and you felt like you were never good enough. Since God is taking you through the oven, you should feel yourself great. Ashes for your beauty. You should tell yourself, I'm taking everything that I didn't like about myself, and I'm loving me now. I'm happy with myself now. And you don't like me for me, bye-bye. The fourth thing, number 4 is fire lights the vessel. See, some of us were dark and messed up individuals, and there was no light about me. I didn't even like myself, but after I went through the oven, and the Father worked on me, I'm brighter now. I'm happy now. I got more joy. I got more peace. I tell somebody he's not through with me yet, but when he gets through, I'll come through. And Spirit, the songwriter said, in case you have fallen by the wayside, dreams and men shattered, you are broken inside. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. No fire wants to put you back together again. In case your situation has turned upside down, all that you accomplished is now on the ground. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. The fire wants, the fire wants, the fire wants. He wants to put you back together. used to go. God, if you reshape me, I won't say some of the things I used to say. God, I need you to reshape me, God. Remake, mold me. Reshape me, oh God. Reshape me, oh God. Reshape me, oh God. Reshape me, oh God. Hallelujah, God. Reshape me, oh God. Reshape me, oh God.
I appreciate God. We all have to go through the fire. We all go through flood. We all go through trials and tribulations. But one thing about it, God can reshape all of us. We thank God. Bless Minister Holland. When He reshape us, He reshape us in a good way. All of us in here look great. He reshaped y'all real. He reshaped us all real. And I thank the Lord.